Yeah.
this is going to be beneficial for both of us. It's like a partnership.
It is. And if any artist that is like listening to this doesn't put that on their pitch, like do it immediately. Like it is just a tool that we can use to help each other. Like they posted on theirs, that helps me, and then vice versa. So like I love looking at Instagram as a connection and helper tool versus a like ego boost tool.
Welcome to Color Me Happy podcast. I'm your host, Brandi Hofer. Thank you so much for being here. I'm very grateful for your time, and I'm excited for you to dive into these raw and authentic conversations with creatives from around the world. Be sure to pop this in your ear when you're working in the studio and you need a friend, or if you're having your morning coffee, or if you're going on a walk. All good things to, get inspired through authentic conversation with other creatives. We ultimately want you to see your everyday ordinary as extraordinary and really tap into the idea that creativity is power, and we want to see you grow. Be sure to join our Color Me Happy community. Follow Color Me Happy podcast on Instagram and Brandi Hofer Studios to stay tuned, and feel free to reach out anytime. We're happy to chat. Let's get started.
Right now, it's just like, it's a weird time. It's either people like want a lot of things before the end of the year, and so they're like rushing to get it done. But then like my body is like, it's the year's over. Like it's not even October yet. And I'm like, all right, the year's over.
I know.
Yeah.
The physicality of it all,
Yeah.
right? And what actually goes into a project, which like wrinkles and thickens your skin more every time, and like affects your hearing, your eyes, and like people just don't know what goes into those public art things, right?
Yes. So like, oh, can we have this done by the end of the year? I'm like, you realize that there's Thanksgiving, there's Christmas, like I'm not just gonna go up and like paint this mural or do the sculpture. Like there's a lot of planning. Like, yeah, I'm just like
just a little bit.
Just a little, just a tad.
So some.
Zip it up. Really. Yeah.
No, that's the thing. Like oftentimes we can be viewed as like a machine, like that produces, and you're like, actually I'm a creative and I need those moments where I sit and stare at a tree for a really long time.
Exactly. I was like, I can rush this, but like, okay, it's not gonna.
It won't be. It's a disservice to you and I, right?
Right.
Yeah. To have it be the best it could be. So we dove right in. Welcome. So happy to have you. I've got your beautiful package here. And I want you to tell everyone, like, because you started in design, right? So like, and then it led to all of these lovely things.
Yes.
So many. Oh, like I just love them, and I'm like holding on to them. I have kids, so I'm like, oh, they cannot see this. Like, like color on 2 pages, not really appreciate it the way I feel it should be appreciated, because I have 3 boys. So I'm like, I need to find like my niece, like some little girls who will be like, oh, I will dedicate time to each page. And I also run an art academy, so there'll be lots of beautiful gifts that I can give. But thank you for this. It's absolutely
welcome.
Yeah. Okay, so your roots of what you do and where you started derive in illustration, right? Is that
yes and no. So I have never had a 9-to-5 job, like a typical corporate 9-to-5, go to a cubicle, work, you have a boss, none of that. I have no idea how that is or experience of that. I went to school for marketing, and outside of that, I worked at like a little boutique shop, helping a family friend because she was battling breast cancer. And so while I was applying for jobs, it was one of those things where they wouldn't give me the experience because I didn't have the like traditional corporate experience. And so I was like, hey, I'll work here. I will interview for jobs. And I was interviewing for like anything and everything. Like executive assistant, I will be the executive assistant, whatever you want. And so while I was doing that, that was like back in 2014. And so calligraphy was like all over Michael's and Hobby Lobby. And I was like, well, I'm broke in a sense of like, I probably shouldn't be spending this much money on signage for like gifts and things like that. Or I was decorating me and my husband's first apartment. And so I was like, oh, I can just make that. So that's when I started just like making calligraphy and signs and things like that. And then my friends were like, oh my gosh, you can do this. Can I have this? And so it was just kind of like unraveled into calligraphy. And I went to my husband and I was like, I think this can be a job. And so I'm 34, growing up back in the early 2000s, like owning your own business looked nothing like it did now. The entrepreneur lifestyle is such a new phenomenon, which I'm so excited and giddy that like the next generation can like see this example growing up. But like our example was like you either needed to be on Shark Tank, have a lot of money or capital, or you owned a storefront. Like that
is like giant, impossible, yes. Expensive.
Exactly. Yeah. There were like I just got married at the time. So like there were people that were doing calligraphy, but they were doing that on the side outside of their like corporate job, or they were wedding photographers and like that was their business. But I had no photography skills. So I was like, okay, so they are just, and those are like the moms, the stay-at-home moms that were doing it while their husbands worked. Like it just entrepreneurs did it. Yeah. Like, there was not owning your own art business. Like, because we grew up with like the starving artist mentality, right? Like if you go to family Thanksgiving, you're like, oh, what do you do? I'm like, oh, you're an artist. Back then it was like, oh, that's cute. Like,
can we do find something else?
Right.
Adventure, abortion, or growing pain, or whatever. Yeah. Like, yeah, it was pretty for sure dismissed.
Yeah.
And so, I totally agree with you. And it's hard to find an example of where you want to be or who you want to be. And exactly. If you don't, like, I personally need to see like and dissect how it's done. Like, right. Or someone has to like verbally say it, or you know what I mean, and then like I have to dive right in. I don't know if you're like that, but I'm like, oh well, anyway, I just want to start right now. I'm so excited.
Exactly. Yeah, I will buy all of the materials all at once, and they might sit in my closet for a couple of weeks, but at least it's there and it's like in the back of my mind. But yeah. So,
I know what's coming on the doorstep today.
Right?
What did I do?
Right?
What crafting thing did I and decide to start? I like how we talked about your roots in marketing, and I think I went to a traditional sort of in 2004 art school, so like what you were supposed to do, right? Yeah. I did all the things you're supposed to do, get the degree, all of this, and then had some experiences through that decade, etc. But one thing, and maybe this is great that you were a generation later, 10 years later in that, and the world, like Facebook was just starting, right?
Yeah.
So I don't even think it crossed the university's mind to be like, we should probably include marketing for these artists.
Exactly. You know? And I would love to know if they're doing it now. Like, I really hope that they are.
It needs to be 2% of the focus.
Yes. I think I get a lot of college kids that are in art school and they're like, oh my gosh, I want an art business and everything. I was like, okay, well, just make sure that like you take a marketing class, or know that going into a business, like it is going to be a ton of marketing, a lot of computer work, and a lot of putting yourself out there. Like, oh, well, I just want to paint all day. And that's such like a very old school way, like going back to that starving artist mentality and that example that we had as like an art business. I always like think of like back in high school and back in college, I'm like, oh, you're an artist, and you're like this little old lady in front of their canvas painting, and then she gives it to a art dealer, or she's in a gallery. And that's definitely a path that artists can take, but man, is it brutal. And just
it's so
hard.
hard.
So hard.
Well, I don't like to say that, but I only know like 4 people, and our listeners will know, like, I only know 4 people who actually do that and are successful at it out of hundreds to thousands of artists who I've touched base with over 20 years, right? Like 4. Right. So what's the percentage on that, right? Like, and they have teams. 3 of them have like 6 people to 11 people teams.
It's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. The only way to debunk the starving artist mentality is if you put marketing ahead of, I hate to say it, but ahead of your art, which that for sometimes like gives artists like the cringe, like, ooh, no, I'm not an artist. And it's weird. Like I struggle with it all the time of like, what's the fine line of like, am I a business or am I an artist? Like a lot of times I feel weird saying that I am an artist because I feel like my business brain is way more activated than the like creative, get in the flow artist brain. So it's weird. It's one of the like a heavy conversation that I always have to talk with other artists and other mentees of like, okay, like if you really want an art business, like these are things that you like need to think about and consider, and are you willing to give up part of that? And if there's artists out there that are listening like, well, I didn't have to give that up, please tell me what that secret sauce is, because I would love to know.
Yeah, and there are 2 ends of that spectrum. Well, number one, and I don't think you're just talking about business, but we can shift that into advocating for yourself. Right? Putting yourself out there, getting comfortable, making videos, capturing process, and viewing it maybe as another creative outlet. And also just not being afraid of those no's, right? And no one's gonna like knock at your door and be like, I'm gonna come do this for you. Like they're just not.
No.
Right?
Right.
And if you shift the mindset around it and really turn it around to be just, I am my own best advocate. No gallery is going to represent me like I will.
Right.
Like they don't know the story or the narrative or the passion. They might have 2 lines memorized about who I am or where I'm from and what this means, but like they can't tell me what part of it like I've had maybe the luxury, or it was hard, but there's also the other side to the spectrum of burning out from painting, like overproduction of painting. I've been there. I did 139 pieces in 1 year for like solo shows, collectives, and then just commissioned orders. And I burnt out for like 2 years after that.
Crazy.
I wrote a book instead. I couldn't paint anymore.
Yeah, that's insane.
Right?
That's a lot.
And one of the artists who is successful at this, but she has a very big social media following, and she was able to do this, but she was represented by 6 galleries, and she was producing like 6 large oil paintings a month.
Oh, wow.
And so then she only gets 50 to 40% because it was a long time ago. She was very young and she burnt out. So there are like, there's different cases and everyone's going to have their own unique journey and story. So I like to hear about what shifted for you, where like I'm going to continue the story, like when this can be a business, and like what was your husband's response too?
I know. Yeah. We probably like squirreled. So back to, I graduated.
Definitely.
A job. I know. And I was like, I think art can be a business, and we're the same age. I've known him since I was 14. So we've been together ever since. And so he also had the same kind of mentality of like, art is a hobby. Or if you want to be an art business, you have to go in the gallery, starving artists, yada, yada, yada. And he's like, I don't know. I was like, okay, well, give me 6 months. Like, I think like in my gut, I can feel it. Just give me 6 months and I'm going to prove you wrong type of thing.
Yeah.
So
Right.
6 months came along and I knew that I needed to like start, like at the time I was just doing globes and calligraphy and watercolor and stuff. I was like, I'm going to get into like actual wedding business because I knew that we had just gotten married. There's a lot of money in weddings. And so I just weaseled my way into the calligraphy world. I was modeling at the time, and back then I was like the fake brides to these styled shoots. And that's when I started networking. I was like, hey, I can do that if you need someone. And they're like, oh, we have a styled shoot next week. You can be a part of it. Great. Did a styled shoots, and kind of like long story short, it just kind of skyrocketed from there. And I really learned that like the marketing sometimes isn't necessarily like, yes, advocating, like I advocated for myself. I put myself out there. I was like, hey, I can also do this. Like, I'm not just a pretty face. I have skills and things like that. But realizing that like networking back then too, social media was just still like amping up, but like networking to the other people in your field is so important. Like for the wedding industry, it was becoming friends with the florists and the planners and all that stuff. Like I never felt like I needed to market to brides. I was always marketing and networking to the people in my industry. And I kind of do that here with my business now, where I do murals and public art and things like that. Like I am marketing to my fabricators, to interior designers, to real estate developers. Like I'm not necessarily like marketing to the restaurant owner. I'm marketing to the people that see like are kind of like in my other realm of like designers type of thing. I feel like it's so much easier in that sense to like market and advocate for myself with those groups of people versus like everyone and anyone. Like your circle
like a
gets
referral,
big.
right?
Yes,
Within
and
your circle. Yeah.
exactly. And it becomes like word of mouth becomes stronger then. And it's not as daunting of like Instagram, your circle is so big. You can market to people and you're just like, who am I talking to? I could talk to like everyone in the mural. And I'm technically not necessarily. But when I focus my energy on those connections, that's when I'm able to get repeating clients and customers and more secure jobs and whatnot.
That's really great advice, because I think people now view success in more forms of views and likes.
Oh gosh.
And like it's great to have exposure.
It's
but
awesome.
those rooted projects are, yes, because you knew the realtor or the developer, and you met with them 6 times, or you're friends with their brother, or
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
they know you, they know you'll do a good job. They've seen your work. Like would you say that like your social media is more like a portfolio reference then?
Oh, for sure. I would, yeah, definitely. And it's people value it for sure. Like those businesses, they're like, oh my gosh, they want, gosh, it's hard. Like, how do I like describe social media without knocking social media?
No, we
Because
can't be negative about it because it helps out.
it is,
Yeah,
it's weird. I think businesses put
tool.
so much value on it, and I totally get it. And we do too, because that's what society is just like brainwashing us to like be like, oh, you're a business, you need to have social media, you need to have all this value, things like that. And it's great. I use it definitely for a connection platform. I've met some of the greatest friends, like some of my best friends. I would have never met them if it wasn't for social media. But like the magic of social media is like connecting and then taking it off of social media as quickly as possible.
Yes.
So
Good advice.
yes, that's where the like true magic is. But I understand that it is a great tool and other businesses love to see the value of it. So I do, because I do have a following, like I do kind of pivot my like marketing to these other businesses and be like, hey, like I do have a platform, like let me help you share our project and your business together. So it's one of those like, yes, it's a portfolio piece, but other businesses do see the value of like they're not going to care unless they know that I care. So if I can be like, hey, like how can I help you? Let's talk about your business through my platform, through social media, and like we all kind of help each other and whatnot. So I love
Absolutely.
that.
It's included in any sort of pitch or
Yes, every
proposal, or
pitch.
like,
Oh
this
my
is
gosh.
our data. This
Yes.
is the positive. This is how many hits we have a year on this, or how many Google Map visits or whatever, right? Like,
Yeah.
this is going to be beneficial for both of us. It's like a partnership.
It is. And if any artist that is like listening to this doesn't put that on their pitch, like do it immediately. Like it is just a tool that we can use to help each other. Like they post it on theirs, that helps me, and then vice versa. So like I love looking at Instagram as a connection and helper tool versus a like ego boost tool, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and true, get off as soon as possible because it will take you down mentally.
Truly, it is. Yeah, I'm in and out as quickly as possible. So
And as a creative brain, I'm like, now I want to do more watercolors. Oh, acrylics look good. Oils, yes.
yes,
Right?
yes, all the things.
So yeah, you get like a little, squirrely on there.
Right.
Okay, I have a really cool, and I'll tell mine as a mini version, but maybe while I'm saying it, you can think of an example. So you're talking about connections on social media. And so I'm not anymore just because I couldn't no longer make meetings, but the Art Queens is a really great group founded by Katerina Popova and Create Magazine. And over COVID, lots of friends, lots of female friendships lifting up. We're all stuck there at home and painting together and talking about business, etc., and collaborating. And so I ended up, very long story short, meeting them all in New York and showing at an art fair through PXP, which is Alicia, the co-founder, with Katerina. And then I met my friend from Brazil in New York, and she showed me all around New York. And now we talk all the time, and she goes from Brazil to New York all the time, and like her lives changed, and like artist friends that you would never get to have. And I live in a very small place in Canada, so like the fact that I can talk to you or make these connections that I could not make physically.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Do you have any cool connecting stories that you could share with our guests?
Oh, I mean, countless of them. Like 10 years of them I could do. Like tough, like I said, like some of my best friends are from because I connected with them on social media. And I get asked all the time, like, how do I find like mastermind groups, or how do I find people that can be like, I like to call them like my personal board of directors. And it's like these people that are kind of like in your life, that are either like going through the same life stage as you, or they're like your mentors. And a lot of people have it's a daunting thought to be like, oh, I need a mentor. Like, how do I find that? Social media, like the power of social media to be able to connect with people is insane. That we just have this free platform to do that. And like you said, we can connect to people from Brazil or Canada and all over. I have helped other, like, so Sarah Simon, she is one of my really great friends. She lives in Seattle. We connected on social media, but what is crazy, and it's like these like small world things, and it's like I've connected with her, we became good friends. Then my publisher was like, hey, oh my gosh, Sarah is actually a really cool girl. And like, yeah, she is a really great friend. And then like that then connects. And then now she has multiple book deals because my publisher was like, hey, you have a friend? Yes, I have a friend, Sarah. And it's like, it never would have happened. And she never would have become an author, and we never would have been able to like share this like publishing world experience together if it wasn't for social media. Like, it's just crazy. And there's like so many like life-changing experiences. I mean, I never would have gotten my book deal if it wasn't for social media. Like, that's how my publisher found me, was through social media. And at first I thought it was a scam. It was like, I thought it was like one of those like
there are weird scams.
There are a lot of scams out there, yes. And so like very be cautious, especially now. I feel like they're even more scammy. But my first book was in 2017. So even then I was like, little me, like I didn't have 10,000 followers. It was like I just felt like I was just starting out, and they're like, no, we really want you to have a book. So I was like, great. So it's just little things like that. Like, I am also part of like a mastermind group, and of different other muralists from coast to coast. And then like you said, but it's just like the conversations are great, and we can have these conversations like on Zoom, but like the minute we can get it off of the group chat in the DMs, it's just, I don't know, it's just like the deeper connection is had outside of even just like a text message too. Like just getting out of the screen is so much easier to have a deeper, meaningful connection. So
like a lot of excited voice notes.
Yes, so many, right? But then it's like the minute you see them in person, then like the text messages and the DMs and the comments even mean more, knowing that like you've seen them in person and hugged their necks and things like that. So yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
And okay, so what you said, and you referred your friend Sarah, which
Yeah.
I think is a really important point, because you saw her as your friend and someone you wanted to see succeed and uplift, not your competition.
Oh gosh,
right?
No.
Right? Like, couldn't even imagine it, which I love what's happening now with that. And I feel like there has been a push on social media for that collaborative excitement.
Yes.
Because it really does get things going, and it is beneficial for all. And I have countless stories like that too. Like, I just met with all my friends on the west coast of Canada, and we had this we just all hung out, and it's just like, you meet one person, they're like, oh, but then there's this person, and then, oh, let's do a group podcast, and oh, actually, let's do a workshop.
Yes, if the
let's do a retreat.
Yes, if the grass is greener on the other side and you're the only person on the other side, how boring is that? Like, why would you not?
No, I won't paint a mural alone. I refuse. I just sent a proposal to Morocco, and my friend's like, oh, her name's Rosso, and she's UK based, but from Sicily, and she's like, oh, but what if we do it later and not at the retreat? And I was like, me alone in Morocco? I was like, I just like, actually, no, I want to be there when you're all there, and we can have dinner together. And like, me sweating in Morocco against a wall by myself with the hotel owner sounds not as great as the 12 women there, actually. Yeah, I like will not, like, now I started a mural festival, and I was like, we must all do this together.
Yes, right? It's so much better. Yeah, I can only count on like one hand how many murals I painted by myself, and I've painted over 300 at this point.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like it's not worth it. It's not worth doing it by myself. Like,
it feels like it just takes longer.
It does, and it just like gets in your brain. You're like, oh my gosh, you look down the wall, and like, I have all of that wall left to do.
Right. Like, it just, like, it's more it's draining.
It is. And it's like, whenever I get in those moments, I'm like, hold on, like, I need to step back and be like, I have the privilege to be able to make my job as fun as possible. Like, that is on me. So like, why am I like forcing myself to have a bad time. Like it just make it make sense. That does not make sense at all. So it's like I'm constantly making sure that like work and like work doesn't feel like daunting work, and that it's fun experience. I'm laughing and having a good time, and just enjoying the day. So yeah, if I can do that, even because my husband now paints with me full time, I was able to. So squirrel moment again. He didn't think that I could have an art business, right? And he's like, I don't know, art's a hobby. Well, fast forward to today. Actually, I was able to retire him from corporate world back in 2021, and now he works for me with my art business. So it was like a full circle moment of like proving him wrong, essentially. So it's been great. And it's been awesome to give him this life that I've been able to enjoy and let him experience the autonomy and the freedom and the creativity side of running a business, because corporate world just suck it out of you. It's horrible.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I totally agree. And we don't have to get into it because it's
No,
boring.
it's so boring. Right. But yes, it's every mural.
But there are people in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, did you, oh, I lost it. I have lots of questions listed, but I wanted to
putting together. Yeah.
Yeah. Bringing together people, but also, oh, Kate. Yeah. So do people say this to you a lot? Like, oh my gosh, you're so busy. How do you do it all? Like a lot?
And I read these text messages, and while I'm laying in bed, I'm like, I'm busy. Like,
yeah.
I think social media is a lot of smoke and mirrors. I think we just see when everyone is busy, because that's when we post the most. Like we're never posting like us just like laying in bed, like doing God knows what. Like today, like laying
Crushing the Witcher.
Yeah. Like
worst best show.
Yeah. Right. Busy is definitely like it's different for everyone, right? So like I laugh. My husband thinks that he is a busy day when he has like one or two things on his to-do list. He's like, oh God, the day is so full. I'm so busy. And I'm like, but I gotta work out, and I have to go return these Amazon packages, and then I have to go to the dentist. His day's done.
I was wondering, I was like, how is your husband as your employee?
It's actually really great.
Good.
Being together since we were 14 has been super helpful. We've also have had hours and hours and hours of counseling and therapy to learn how to communicate, and that's been life-changing. So it's awesome. Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. And like, I think it's easy because like I never break for lunch during murals, and like I want to like work long hours, and sometimes having an assistant, like I'm like constantly in the back of my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, are they hungry? Do they need rest? Are they tired? Whereas when it's Landon, I'm just like, he's fine.
Yeah.
He's
got it.
He's got it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a lot of energy to get. I always order everyone lunch on mural projects and stuff, but it does take up hours, which is painting time. Right. But back to the question, it's when people say that, it's like it's easier because you're choosing your jobs and your hours, and it's like, you know what I mean? It's like I'm busy, but by choice.
By choice, exactly. Like after this podcast, like I'm doing nothing the rest of the day. Like I'm gonna go eat lunch on a patio and maybe walk around and like just twiddle, because that's what my brain space is. That's that.
Allowing for the day. Yeah, right. Podcasting takes some energy. Where do you live? Where are you based out of?
I'm in Dallas, Texas.
Dallas. Okay. I knew you were in Texas. I wasn't sure where. Yeah. Did you have a few more questions? A project that pushed you way outside your comfort zone? And what did you learn, and how did it shape you? Because people have to know projects don't go perfectly, right?
Oh God, no. I feel like a project is boring when it goes too smoothly. I'm like, hold on, like the problem solving is my favorite part of every project. Like I crave that so much. So I love the problem solving aspect of it. Um, so like this year I did my first public art sculpture piece, and that was one just like still gives me goosebumps thinking about that because it's very daunting and it's a big task and I've never done anything like that. But like the city of McKinney, which is like right outside of Dallas, they were just like, oh yeah, you got it. I'm like, I've never done this before, right?
Yeah.
They're like,
how does it stand up out of the ground without falling over?
I was like, okay, like it's there. Some of my best projects, same with like my book publishing, my first book, I was like, are you sure? I have never done this. I'm like, no, you got
So
it. You
scary.
can do it.
Yeah.
It's not scary at all. Like I can name 4 different people that were in my life that took a chance on me, and knew that I didn't have any experience in it, but for some reason they saw something in me and they're like, no, Alli, like you can do this. I'm like, all right, I guess I can do it. And I did it. And it's just like crazy. But like, those people are so rare to find that are like, no, like we trust you. You have so much potential, and believe more in me than like myself. So I just finished a sculpture piece this year. Never done it before. It took me about a year from like signing the contract to installing it. And boy, was that hard. It was, I trust a lot of people very easily, and trusting people in construction is not ideal. Like, just getting,
To you.
no, I'm just like, hold on, this is not like, I'm just so used to like the designer world and the creatives, and then now you go into like hardworking blue collar labor work and it's just completely different. And like, whoo, it's hard. Yeah. I can't say a lot about it because it's just, I guess, probably inappropriate to call people out like that.
There are struggles sometimes.
There's
with
a
some
lot of
things.
struggles.
Like nothing's
There's a
perfectly
lot of,
perfect.
especially being a woman in business, I got taken advantage of countless times.
Oh no.
And unfortunately, my time and my paycheck, or like my pay and bank account, got taken advantage of. So it was super expensive. I actually paid a lot of money out of my own pocket. One, because I didn't want to feel like a failure. And 2, I didn't want it to be any less than what I had in my mind. And I knew that it was a good ROI on myself. Like, this was challenging. This was opening up a new door of possibilities I could take my art career. And I just had to learn hard lessons. And sometimes those hard lessons were realizing that I got thousands and thousands of dollars over budgeted on because a tradesman like didn't show up and took all my money and all that stuff. So it's just
I'm so sorry. Gosh,
yeah,
that must be
so
frustrating.
crazy. Yeah, it's so frustrating. But
and you're like, how could you? Well, how, like,
like it's nothing like, and right, it's nothing of like my skill or of my, and like of what I was doing. It was just I trusted people too easily, and now I've gotten burned. And I'm never trusting people ever again. No, not really. Yeah. So it's just like little things like that that sometimes when you are, because murals, it's just you. Like technically can just be you and paint and a wall, and that's all the people that you have to worry about. And then like obviously the client, but like when you get into bigger projects, when it's like with the city or public art, it's not just
working with cities is notoriously challenging.
It's so bad. Yeah. It's not just you. Yeah. When you expand your circle of people that you have to manage, it's a lot. It's a lot. So yeah.
Emails times 17.
Oh, emails and then just meetings in person. So I'm like, how do I be in 3 places at once? Like,
Yeah.
it's impossible.
But you're right. There will be return on investment. And if you say, I learned something from this, and that's what you frame it as, I think that's a really great way to reframe, all the crappy things.
Yes. It was a year of, my I always do like a word for the year. And so my word was definitely intentional. And I definitely felt that at every aspect of that project of like being intentional with my time, my money, my relationships. And yeah, just being intentional of like learning that process too, of like, okay, this is what's wrong. How do I fix this? Again, problem solving at the best. Like this probably would have made someone like want to climb underneath a rock and be like, I'm never doing public art again. But I was almost addicted to it of like, I love this. Like it was going wrong at I felt like every step of the way, but seeing it put together and up and people enjoying it and then knowing that like all of the like no one's gonna know. Like they're gonna see that art piece and no one's gonna know all the stuff that I had to go through. So that almost is like even more like I said, like if it goes too easy, I'm just like it's not as impressive to me when I look at like my finished art. Like I'm like, yeah, that was super easy, it was fun, it was cool and chill. But like one of my favorite art pieces are the ones where I know that I went through 10 different problems that I had to overcome. And then it looked amazing. I'm like, man, yes, I freaking did this. Yeah.
And you became so strong. Like
Yes.
you became
Yes.
a different person because of it, right?
It's
Now
not,
the next challenge won't feel
yes,
so,
exactly. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
like,
It's not just like pretty
not
art on the wall. It's
yourself.
pretty art on the wall that with 10 different things that I learned and overcame and pulled through. So
Yeah. No, murals are not, I always say, for the faint of heart.
oh gosh,
Like,
no.
you don't like, I've had people quit like partway through being like, oh, this is actually super hard.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Young, like we always do a mentorship program with our projects. I think that's important. But yeah, I'm like, yeah, it's a big one. And they're like, moms are there picking them up.
Yeah.
Mom, I actually want to be an illustrator working inside from now on. Yeah. Anyway, okay, let's end with some fun questions sponsored by Red Bicycle Communications. What's your go-to song right now when you need a creative boost?
So
K-pop Demon Hunter. No.
I haven't watched it yet.
I'm like, what's the big deal? And then I watched it with my sons and I was like, let's turn it off, it's bad. And they were like, no. I was kidding because I'm like, this is amazing.
It is. Oh, I need to watch it.
Yeah, you have to sit down and do it.
Yeah, I'll have to watch it. I am weird. I am perfectly content working in silence. I don't know why. Like when I like if I'm driving in the car by myself, I'm perfectly okay working or thinking or driving in silence. I think it's like I think my brain.
I like that. I like driving in silence.
Oh gosh, I love it so much. Yeah, I can just sit there and just I don't know if it's like right now I'm painting in an office building. I painted yesterday, I'll paint tomorrow. But I pretend that I have my headphones on, but I actually don't have anything going on because I love to like eavesdrop on what everyone else is like saying. It's probably my favorite thing to like listen to like what they think because like they think that my headphones are on and I cannot hear them, but I can hear every bit of conversation. So yeah, it's fun. But, yeah. If I do get too bored, I'll put a audiobook on. So I'd rather listen.
Oh, good for you.
Or if you had to like, you have to listen to music right now, what are you picking? It will probably be like a Taylor Swift song.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing. Okay, coffee, tea, or something else while painting big walls?
I try really hard to drink water. it's not exciting. But my beverage guilty pleasure beverage at the moment is a Coke Zero.
Okay.
It has to be
You and
cold
my
and
husband.
crispy though. Yeah.
Yeah. At the movies with popcorn. Yeah.
Yes.
What's your favorite spot in your city for inspiration or a lunch break? Which clearly you're doing right now.
I know. I'm about to go do that. Literally just like getting out of like my normal routine is the best. Like if it's a good patio. There we have like a lake in Dallas. It's called White Rock Lake, and I love just like going down there. Or the botanical gardens downtown Dallas is probably also the best kept secret. I have one of my longest murals in Dallas I painted there. So it's fun to have a little bit of myself and such an iconic.
In your favorite spot?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Okay. If you had unlimited funds for one day for your community, what would you do?
For my community, oh my gosh. I feel like I would take everyone on a trip, which sounds probably horrific to some people because it's like planning that for a million people. I'm gonna say like art community because the Dallas art community here is actually so strong. Like I'm so thankful for it because there has never ever been an inkling ounce of like we're competition. We're just so supportive for each other, and we have so many different just different styles and ways about going with business, but we can all get into a room and like love and support and just, I don't know, it's just a different sense of community that I really haven't seen anywhere else. So I feel like it would be fun to just like go on this like crazy, like cool group adventure together. It would be cool. And
That's
they
great.
deserve to be pampered and they work so hard. So yeah.
Oh, I like that. You would treat everyone.
I would definitely treat everyone. Yeah. My love language is gift giving and quality time. So it would be something of that sense of just like treating them in some way.
Oh, I love that. Thank you for coming on today, and thank you for sharing. It was lovely to meet you.
All day. Yeah.
If you have any questions, feel free to reach out on Instagram at Brandi Hofer Studios anytime. I'm happy to chat. That's where I sit, and I'm so glad you're here, and I cannot wait for you to dive in. So give us a like and subscribe, and check the rest of our channel.
If you want to feel empowered and inspired, like and subscribe for more. And if you want to get creative, check out all our art hacks on this channel.